Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. So I thought I would give an update on the build that I'm doing for the March to Space group build. You may recall that I'm doing this Atlantis Mercury capsule and Atlas booster, which I think is 110 scale. It's an interesting kit. Most evenings I'm sat down excuse me, melting some plastic. There's quite a bit of cleanup required on some of the parts. There's flash here and there, and then where the injection mold, where the plastic is injected on some of the parts, it leaves a bit of a stub on quite a bit of some of the longer parts, and so they need just a bit of a clean up as well. It's been interesting so far. As I say, I'm just sat there and just getting on with it and just, you know, enjoying the time I'm spending on it. So I shall get the items together that I've done so far, so you can see how far I've progressed. So here's the one section. Obviously this is one of the buildings, and this actually goes under the launch platform. When you put the launch platform on top, you barely see anything of this. Basically just the four walls. There's some detail around this side as well, with some of the piping and things like that, but all this interior stuff is practically lost. So the intention is to try and spray everything up once built. I know that somebody that I watched, I think he sprayed all the parts and then constructed it, which was probably a good idea. You know, when you've got to paint these pipes, I think they've got to stay yellow. But I'll have to hand paint them separately on there. So that's that part. So the next part is the ramp that leads up to the launch platform. Quite straightforward build, this particular part. No issues at all, really. So yeah, that's that. So here we have some of the vehicles, and we've got the frame for pulling the rocket up to the launch platform. I'm not sure which vehicle pulls that, to be honest. I don't know whether it's this one here, but I thought that may be for that. I think that maybe that they don't provide all the cabs for the different vehicles. It's just like they have one cab, and then you just hook it up to whichever thing you want to show it with. The intention is to try and paint these separate, so leave these black for instance, paint these yellow and so on, and then put them together. There's a lot of decals that have got to go on I think this one, so that's that. I'll show you the launch platform next. So this is actually the launch platform. Now I did come across one error in the instructions. Let me see if I could just find it. It was for one of the railings on the long section of railings. So it was got to get this right. I think it was this one. It says that it's part 84E, and this one's part 84E as well, which, you know, there are some duplicate numbers on some of the other parts, so that's not an issue. But when I cut, I think when I cut this one off, which was 84E, and tried to fit it here, it wouldn't fit. There are pins, locating pins, and they wouldn't fit in the holes. So it went there, it fitted there, so that's fine. So this one is actually 85E, and it is actually a numbered 85 on the sprue, so that fitted fine as well. Again, we've got something going on underneath here. I think this might be like the vent for the exhaust from the rocket, because I think the rocket sits on top of that, but that gets hidden again. So you know, it's almost like, well, do you really need to put it in? So that's that. I'll show you the rocket. So there's the rocket. Bit fiddly, this one. There are three parts that it's like a triangular section for this nose piece here. Trying to get them to sit in the right position. Unfortunately, the locating pins were mismoulded. They were useless, so we had to cut them off. So then trying to make that into the triangular section and then fit that to the top here and get it in the right position. It's almost like as I was rotating it, it would be wonky once, you know, it'd be at this point pointing down and then it'd look fine there, and then I'd turn it round and it'd be doing something else, and I don't think it's quite right now, but it's the best that I think I can get it. So that's the Friendship 7 capsule. There is a part that I haven't put on here yet. I think it goes on there, and the booster rockets or whatever, I've still got to put those on as well. But this will be sprayed all black, and then obviously this section will be in like a metal finish. I think that part is as well. Then Friendship 7's in black, and I can't remember what the colours. I think it's red on the top here. It looks like it's red on the box there. So now what I'm going to do is put the buildings together and the ramp, so you can get some idea of how it all goes together. So I'm going to have to hold the camera to do this. There's the ramp leading up to the launch pad, and then that's where the rocket will practically sit. There's a frame that you have to create here, and that's where the rocket sits in there. Still quite a bit of work to do. There's still some work on the buildings, but as I say, it's been really quite enjoyable. Just sat down watching your videos and just doing a bit each night. Now the one person I watched said that he built this in a weekend, and it's just like, well, my hat off to him, because I don't see how I would be able to do that. There are a lot of parts, although they don't look like a lot, there are a lot of parts to this. And as I say, with the cleanup as well, it kind of slows things down as well. But as I say, if you just throw some music on or throw some videos on, it is really quite a nice kit. There are some mismouldings, as I've said, with some of the locating pins, and there is quite a bit of flash on some of the parts, but you know, it is what it is, and I am enjoying it. So that's it, guys. Thanks ever so much for watching. I'm getting over 10 minutes now. I'm going to try and edit it so I can cut it down a bit for you. I've got a bit of time now where I can do about 4 hours hobbying, so I'm going to do that now. Look after yourselves, and I'll catch up with you soon.